Today we're in the machine shop doing an unusual project. I'm helping my neighbor build a woodworking bench of the type called a Roubo bench. And he wants to put a traditional vise in the bench. He was able to procure this screw at a flea market. It's in very good condition. It's very old, but doesn't look like it was ever used very much, if at all. I made a new handle for him, but he hasn't got a nut to fit this. So today we're going to be using a machine that's really designed mainly for metalworking, but we're going to use a screw cutting lathe, which is right behind me, to machine a nut to fit this screw. This screw is a pitch of 2, which means that each thread is a 1/2 inch wide, and the diameter is 2 1/8 inches. I have the work set up on the lathe already. This piece of cherry will be the nut. It's 2 1/2 inches thick. And I have it mounted on the faceplate, standing off, away from the faceplate. And the reason for that is partly because I want to be able to get the boring tool through the hole without hitting the faceplate. But I made this extra because I want to be able to test the screw in the hole as I'm machining the thread. And I want the screw to penetrate into the hole a reasonable distance so that I can test it really well. So I've got it bolted to the faceplate with these 4 pieces of wood, which are all cut exactly the same length, and a 1/2 inch stud through here into the T-slots. I have these nuts that fit in the T-slots. So the first job is going to be to drill a 1 1/2 inch diameter hole. And then we're going to enlarge that slightly with a boring tool, and then we'll be ready to start the threading. This is a Lindsay reprint of the 1895 catalog from Strellinger and Company. And I found in this book this exact same vise screw. So in 1895, this screw cost 40 cents. In 2021, it would cost more like $150. So that's more than 10 times what it cost in 1895, corrected for inflation. And the only explanation that I can come up with for that is that in 1895, these were extremely common hardware store items and were produced in very large quantities. And today they're somewhat rare, and the price is more than 10 times higher, corrected for inflation. This lathe was made by the Hendey Machine Company in Torrington, Connecticut in 1918. I'm the 3rd owner. It's a 14-inch lathe, weighs over 2,000 pounds. Over here we have the famous Norton gearbox. The first successfully mass-produced quick-change gearbox has 36 speeds. I'm going to show you very quickly how to set up the Hendey lathe for threading. This is one camera position. So here goes. The tool has to be set so the angle of the thread is 30 degrees. The compound is set at 30 degrees and only one side of the tool is cutting. The tool will be fed at 30 degrees and the angle is set for 30 degrees. Now I have to set the pitch for 2, which I find on the chart here. And that tells me that this gear will be on number 3 and this gear will be over here adjacent to 2. So now I'm all set for a 2 pitch. That's a half an inch per revolution. And the threading stop will be set right here. So I'll feed this in, and all of the advance of the tool will be taken here, but I'm going to set the threading stop very close here. So that's this. And then the screw. It's not a screw. It's just a stop rod, and the screw tightens it. So now I have this, will always stop there. So the tool will retract this way and come out and then come back to this position. In order to test the screw, I'll drop this out and bring the carriage forward, test the screw, move it back and reset this. So now we have to change from direct drive to back gear, so the lathe will go slower. So I'll pull the pin here, and now this is not connected to the spindle anymore. When I put in the gear, it's going to run out through this gear, back in through this gear, and reduced 7 times. And now I'm ready to start, and what you'll see that the lead screw is moving forward this way. When I do this, the lead screw reverses and goes that way. So I didn't reverse the spindle, I just reversed the lead screw. So I'm going to touch off the tool and set you up again.